Spring cleaning and reset. We've been talking a lot about spring, and I thought it might be time to jump in and tackle a really large spring thing like spring cleaning. So, welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia, and today we're just going to talk about spring cleaning, what it means to each of us, and what we're going to do about it, how we're going to tackle this. So what does spring cleaning actually mean to you? When I think about spring cleaning, the first thing I think about is my mother. And I can remember that when I was a child, and obviously in her younger years, she used to go through the entire house. First we lived in an apartment. Well, we owned the house, but it was like a two-family house. She went through the entire house. She washed all the walls. She took down the curtains in every single room. She washed all the floors. She washed all the bedding. She did what I guess nowadays we would call is a really deep clean of the entire house. I remember her changing the curtains and changing from winter curtains to summer curtains. And usually they were organdy. I don't know if any of you remember that. Some of us old timers probably do. But she used to wash them. I think she washed them by hand. I'm not sure about that. But she'd wash them. And then she would dry them in the backyard outside. She would wash them. She would starch them. And then she'd put them on these stretching racks that had all these little nails so that you could stretch it out so you wouldn't have to. I guess the purpose was to get the wrinkles out and you wouldn't have to iron them. But it was kind of pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I remember, being kind of fascinated by that. But spring cleaning is a lot more than just changing the curtains and washing the walls. It encompasses so many things that we probably don't even think about. So you'll think about them when we're done with this video because you won't, it'll be hard not to. So I do plan on taking you on a tour with me, excuse me the crinkles, while I am decluttering one small area of my house. Not decluttering, but I'm going to do some spring cleaning in one small area of my house. I don't think you'd really be interested in seeing the whole thing, but we could do that if you want, but I don't know if I have the strength to do a full spring cleaning, but I am planning on doing that with you and inviting you to join me. But let's talk about all the other things that you should think about when you're thinking about spring cleaning. It's not only your house that you want to spring clean. The windows, the walls, the floors, the furniture, the beds, and all the other things that you do. Emptying out the refrigerator, cleaning that out, emptying out the freezers, all that stuff is part of spring cleaning of the home. And you can probably throw in a few more things. Then how about the car after the winter? My car, even though it's a lovely new car that I'm paying dearly for, it looks like a mess. You would never know that it was a new car. And it doesn't smell new anymore. It smells like my dog because she gets in the car and she sheds. And so the car is another area that you need to clean up after winter so that you can not be embarrassed to have your friends in your car, which I would be. You have to take down the winter decorations. And then you put up the spring or the summer decorations. Now, I don't do this anymore. I used to decorate for all the seasons. I have pillow covers for my couch for all of the seasons, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. I don't do that anymore. I don't even do a Christmas tree at Christmas time. And basically the reason why is because I don't really have anyone who comes to visit me very often. I don't have any young children anymore, and I could care less. I do throw out a token thing or two. And maybe I'll show you my Easter collection because that's something that's kind of been nagging in the back of my mind. But I don't do that, but I know a lot of people decorate seasonally, so that's something that you have to do. You have to take out the old stuff, clean that, put it away, bring it out to wherever you store it. Then you take out the new stuff, make sure it's clean, and put it on display. How about your yard? Well, I wish you could see my yard because it is full of, excuse the expression, dog poops. And you have seen the size of my dog. And in the summer and in the spring and in the fall until the snow flies, I clean it up every single day. Well, it hasn't been cleaned since the first snowfall. So won't that be fun to clean up? So I've got to clean up the dog poop. I've got sticks and leaves. Even though I blew the leaves at the end of the season in the fall, they're still there. They're piled up. I don't know where they came from, but you've seen a little bit of my yard. I guess we can guess where they came from. Are you going to garden? Are you going to garden? If you're going to garden, you've got to clean up the garden. You've got to clean up the raised beds or the garden space. Some people rototill. Some people don't believe in rototilling. Some people use raised beds. Some people plant directly into the ground. But you need to clean those areas up, de-weed them. If you planted a winter crop, you've got to get that cleaned up. So it's not just spring cleaning. Spring cleaning is like a monumental task if you include each of these things. Then I have a shed, and what I have gotten in the habit of doing is cleaning that, taking every single thing out of it and evaluating what I have, trying to get rid of a few things, and then I put it all back in there, hopefully in an organized way. The problem is it doesn't last very long because if someone comes over or if I put something away quickly, I just throw it inside the door so you can't walk through it. So it's sort of organized, but it's not. And I have Christmas decorations in there that I just told you that I don't use anymore. I haven't used them for several years. So decluttering is a whole other issue. I don't know how to intertwine it into all this. So how about refreshing things outside? Checking to see if you have I have a terribly rotten door on my woodshed. Well, I'm going to wait until my friend comes over and we're going to probably, she doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to probably ask her to help me build a new door and to put new siding on the woodshed. The siding is just material and it's relatively inexpensive, but I have to decide how that's going to fit into my new frugal ways, if I can do that or not. That's something that I would have done with no thought whatsoever. But being frugal means you have to think about every single thing that you spend your money on and what effect it's going to have on you. My bail box is a mess. It's all rusty. So I'm not buying a new one. I'm going to refurbish the one that I have. So that means I've got to do it. I've got to scrape it down. I've got to spray paint it, take the numbers off. It's not just a simple thing of painting the mailbox. Then spring is a good time to start planning your vacation. If you take one, yes, I do. I take a vacation once a year with my friend, and we go on a little trip to get away and relax. And so you need to start planning that, because if you don't plan it, then you can't get a place to stay, and you don't know how much money you're going to have at that time, so you've got to start saving money. So this is all part of spring cleaning. How about your computers, your digital life, your phone, your tablets, whatever you use? I bet they're a mess too. I bet they're filled with unwanted pictures that you have, unwanted emails, and on and on and on. I know that I get spam emails up the yin yang, and what I do is every single day I get rid of all that kind of stuff. But I believe that there are actually software sites that can help you with getting rid of these spammers and stuff. But I'll talk about that more when we do an in-depth discussion about how to clean our computers. So let me just look at my list and make sure that I hit on most of the things. Oh, how about our bodies? Yes, in January we always say we're going to lose weight, we're going to start exercising. In my case, I'm going to send cards or whatever. But spring is the perfect time to get out, go for a little walk. If you can't walk, get someone to bring you outside and just sit in the sun for a while. Today here was an absolutely beautiful day. It felt like spring. It's probably the first time that I've actually really noticed it, and I enjoyed it. It elevated my mood, that's for darn sure. So getting out, and now your mind, we have to clean out our minds. And this is something we've been talking about all along, ever since I started this channel. Mindfulness, relaxation, meditation. Well, I'd like to take a poll and ask each and every one of you how many followed through on all of those things that we learned are good for us. Probably not very many, myself included. I'm not being critical of anyone. I'm just saying this is human nature. Spring is a time for renewal. It's the time to do it. I just thought of another thing that I remembered about my mother as I was doing this video. Does anyone remember the product called Jubilee? It was like a white cream. And my mother, when she did her spring cleaning, she did it at other times as well, but she would use Jubilee to polish her new automatic dishwasher and her refrigerator. And I could smell that. If I could smell it today, it would bring me right back to that. It has a distinct, very pleasant smell. And she was so proud of her appliances because, you know, an automatic washing machine, she had the Ringer washing machine, and I remember that very well. But when she got the automatic washing machine, she would polish it with Jubilee. So I thought I'd share that with you and wonder if anyone else remembers Jubilee. So what I'd like you to do is to think about spring cleaning. And don't just think about your house, but of course you have to think about your house. I just thought of another one. My plants, my indoor plants, they need to be repotted. That is a part of a springtime ritual. So I need to do that. I don't know if you have indoor plants, but you should probably think about doing your indoor plants as well. I'm going to sneeze in a minute and it won't be pretty. Okay, look at my post, because in my post I have placed a bingo card, and it's small challenges for cleaning your house. Very small things like clean out one drawer. You get to take credit for that. And what I'd like you to do is to, when you accomplish one row, or you know all the things, the X, the diagonal, the cross, let us know in the comments all the things that you accomplished. And the people or persons who complete the card will get a prize from guess who? Me. And you'll love it. Nothing fancy, don't worry. So, play bingo. I want you to think about spring cleaning. Please like and subscribe. And thank you very, very much for your support and your participation in my videos. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye-bye.